Hello, hello. Welcome back to Teacher to Techie. I am so glad you guys joined for this next video. My channel is like officially up and running. I think I'm doing the things day by day to get my channel in order. So, would you please subscribe, like this video, and hit the notification button so you can be notified of my next video? I think that's the first time I've said that in a video because I've just been filming and just coming to you guys real with whatever I wanted to share. But I guess I have to be a little bit more formalized now that my YouTube channel is officially up and running. So, yes, please subscribe and support your sis. Support me in this process of trying to share information and share my journey with you all. So, please subscribe, like my video so that others who are interested in tech and making the transition into the technology industry, whether they're an educator or in another career path, but are looking, like the video so they can see it and hit the notification button so you know the next time that I film a video. So today's video, in my last video was part one. So in video one, I talked about various positions that are available in the tech industry. And I feel like I honestly just kind of skimmed the surface of all the available positions in tech because there are many more. What I am finding is that literally to get into the tech industry, it doesn't have to be a technical job. I'm going to keep saying that because everybody kind of shies away and go, I'm not a technical person. Neither am I. This girl has nothing. I'm not a technical person. I am becoming more technical, but I'm not overly technical. But I am kind of stepping into that. And I'm actually liking how I'm developing myself to be more of a techie person. But I say all that to say you don't have to be a technical person to get into tech. With that being said, there's a lot of positions. I talked about the positions, I talked about the salary. Part two, this is what this was supposed to be, but I realized I wanted to provide some context to part one because I can talk about these positions and what they do, but and even if you're reflective, you still may be like, I'm not really sure what position is a good fit for me. So I wanted to provide context by sharing with you all these surveys and assessments that are online. They will ask you a series of professional related questions, kind of scenario based questions, to help you determine what avenue of tech you may fit in. So it offers these recommendations for you. It provides some context for you so that it can be a little bit more intentional as you make this transition or even thinking about the transition. So I actually took the surveys. There's three of them that we're going to talk about in this video. I took them as well. I found them very helpful, very, very interesting. Can't wait to share my specific feedback. But I feel like the surveys will be helpful. The links to each of the surveys are going to be in the description, so you can reach them there. And then I really encourage you, take these surveys. It was really eye-opening for me. And again, it provides you an opportunity to be a little bit more reflective and more intentional as you're going down this path. I mean, if you're watching the video, you stay to the end and you're learning about all these positions, that means you're interested. You're really interested. So do the due diligence, take these surveys, and then take what you're feeling internally, take what information and insight and analysis that you get from these surveys, and then proceed forward. So I have some notes because I don't want to forget. And obviously, I don't want to just come off the dome with it because I don't want to forget anything. To me, this is really important. So I actually took some notes. So there were three surveys or three assessments that I took online. These surveys are connected to particular educational programs. So, based on what your assessment is and based on what feedback you get, they also have programs that align. I want to remind you as you're going through the survey, every question is not like clear cut, and like totally aligned with who you are. However, find the one that's most suitable to who you are and how you show up professionally. Okay? All right, so let's dive in. Let's look at these surveys. Let's talk about them a little bit, and then I'll share my feedback from the surveys as well. Number one, Career Foundry. They asked, I believe, and I wish I could remember all the details of the surveys, but honestly, it was like 2, 3 in the morning when I was taking these surveys. So I don't remember like exactly how many questions. In hindsight, I probably should have wrote down like how many questions and stuff. But I found that the surveys were very, very reasonable. So I'm going to say anywhere from maybe like 10 to 15 questions per survey. It wasn't overwhelming. Anyway, Career Foundry, after I took the assessment, it provided me with a little survey and analysis of what was uncovered from the questions. And they even offered me like this 5 short day course based on the skills. So it allows you to kind of put your toe in the water and see if that's something of interest to you. So I thought that was really cool. It came to me in my email after I took the survey. And actually, I'm in the process of taking this little mini course now because the recommendation I actually liked. And I was like, okay, let me, delve into the actual course that they sent me. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Um, Thinkful, number 2. Thinkful is the assessment. And once you take the assessment, it's going to make some recommendations and then it will send you like a follow up email for you to learn more about that particular area of suggestion. So let's just say it was data analysis. Skin just kind of like anything that uses the word data. I'm sorry. I mean, some of you guys eat this stuff up. Kudos to you. But for me, when I think about just lots and lots of numbers and lots of data and being able to look at that, interpret that, it makes my like it hurts a little bit. It hurts. Like it doesn't really hurt. But I mean like it's just I don't want to say such a turn off, but it just doesn't speak to who I am professionally, personally, in any regard. So sorry, I digress. Nonetheless, let's just say it makes the recommendation for you to go into being a data analyst. So it's going to send you the information about the program and then you can further investigate it. So that's number 2. That survey is Thinkful. And then the last one I did was Springboard. I found their questions were a little different, but in a good way. I can't really find the way to describe it. It wasn't overwhelming, but I find myself being very thoughtful in the process of how I answer those questions. And after the fact, it did email me a survey with the actual results, which the other 2 did not. So I wanted to kind of go back and look over what it said, but it didn't email it to me after the fact. Springboard is the only one that actually emailed me the results of the full survey afterwards. It said that I was a storyteller, and then it gave me like a list of strengths. And then, of course, it recommended, based on all these things, this is the career path that you should pursue in tech. So I found that to be very, very helpful. So, like I said, I personally took all of the surveys. The process for me actually was really enjoyable because I'm big into just self reflection. So, in answering the questions, I kind of like took a step back. I'm thinking about these various things. And so, here's what's interesting. You guys have been following me anytime, you know that I'm going into tech sales. I'm interviewing for jobs for like sales development, business development. I'm kind of going the track to be in software sales, technology sales. All 3 of the surveys gave the same recommendation for me, the same recommendation. And guess what it was? I was so surprised. I guess I shouldn't be as surprised, but it was in digital marketing. All 3 of them said, hey, girl, you need to go into digital marketing, which is interesting because it is something of interest to me. Obviously, I'm launching this channel. I'm really trying to promote teachers and other industry professionals to make the transition into tech, or at least to share the information so that they can make the transition into tech. And all of that kind of comes with some digital marketing, which I'm actually learning as I'm doing. So it was just interesting that that was the recommendation that they made, digital marketing. So I'm actually going to embrace that. Obviously not from a career standpoint, but maybe that's an opportunity for like a side hustle for me. Or I can just use that skill to further enhance teacher to techie as well as my real estate business. So just kind of leaning into that because it seems like maybe it's a natural thing that I like to do and I'm not even really embracing that. But having taken all 3 of those surveys and that's what they recommended, I found it was really interesting. So how could I not investigate? Okay. So that's what your girl is doing. Like I said, it recommended a mini program. So I'm taking that. I'm going to use that mini program and kind of lean into digital marketing and see how that works out for me. So, anyways, those are the 3 surveys. Like I said, I really, really encourage you to take those surveys, take that feedback, chew on it a little bit, be reflective about it. And then part 2 is coming. I've had to do quite a bit of research for part 2, but it is coming. But part 2 is going to talk about, like, okay, now you want to know, you want to break into tech. You kind of have an idea of potential positions. How do we actually take the progressive steps in terms of building our knowledge base? So you want to consider maybe which program you should go into, which avenue, is there's lots of training out there, guys. There's training, there's boot camps, there's programs, there's a lot out there. And I want to be able to share some of that with you. But I also want to share programs and boot camps that are going to be fruitful, productive, and that will help you actually make the transition into tech. I say all that to say there are programs out there that will take your money and not really set you up for success. And so I don't want to come and share information about programs that are not doing that. Don't want to do that. So, like I said, I'm doing my due diligence. There are some programs out there that I'm fully aware of. I know what they can do. Those I know. But I also wanted to provide a little bit more of a robust list so that you guys have options to consider. And so I've been doing research throughout the week and talking to other people in these positions and saying, hey, how was your experience going through this boot camp? How was your experience going through this program? Was it beneficial? I've had a lot of great feedback, and some of them I'm really interested in taking as well to just kind of further build my knowledge base. I think the one thing I will say, um, tech is an industry where you are always learning. You are always building your skills, because when you're learning, you're expanding what you know, you're solidifying your foundation, and then you're building on that foundation. So I'm always willing to learn more. And hopefully, if you're looking at making this transition in tech, and to me, if you're watching this video, then you're learning more. You're inquisitive. You want to find out more information about how you can be successful. Do it the right way. Pardon me. So, anyways, this was video 1, part 2. 1.2. We'll call it video 1.2. So, this was video 1.2, not part 2, not part 1, but part 2. So, hopefully, you found this information very helpful. Please go take the surveys. Go take them. I found the information insightful, and I'm sure you will too. Okay? The links are in the description below. And again, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the channel. Support sis. Teacher to Techie. Hit the notification bell. Hit it. Hit it right now. Notification bell. Hit the subscribe button. Hit it. Boop, boop. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Until next time. See you later.